fun day. Once again, it's come around. Who can believe it?
I know.
Beautiful sunny day today as well.
Isn't it
It
gorgeous? And there may be life on Mars. Do we know that?
Well, they say.
Are you off, darling? Are you off there?
Oh, yes. I booked my flight.
On a Thunderbird, right? On a Thunderbird rocket?
On a Thunderbird. Thunderbird 2.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm off.
My favourite.
They've actually said that they do believe that there is life on Mars, but hey,
yes,
we're all Barbie anyway now, aren't we? So
yes, dear.
I'm going to tell you that I have a slight hearing problem in my left ear. So I went online to see about unblocking it myself. So I put in.
Oh God!
Oh God!
What have you done?
Your ear, right? That's what I put in, and I got back. I have to tell you, it's the funniest thing. It says, "Tackle a range of blockages." That was my first thing that came up. Then I got, "Do not use an impromptu plunger," and I thought, well, I wasn't going to do that. Then it said, "If you can't unclog yourself, use the end of a coat hanger."
Darling, do you have your glasses on when you put this information in?
It gets worse. And then it says, or use a flange extension and push it in gently. So I thought, I've got a flange, little extension.
We've all done that before, dear.
And then I went back online and I thought, I've got to do what is a flange and what is its extension? And I realised it said, unblocking a toilet made easy.
There you go.
I thought you were going to say, Sherry, about the Hopi candles. Have you ever used the Hopi candles?
No, actually,
the Hopi candles. Yeah, the Hopi candles are really good to put in your ears, okay? They really are.
That's right.
And I would do it with, as long as Keely or someone is with you, because I know you, Sherry.
Yeah,
I know that, that you'll do that and your hair will go alight or something terrible will happen. So promise me, when you do the Hopi candle, you'll have someone with you.
Will you promise me you will film the whole thing? That's what comes in. Thank you.
And I will have a flange extension by then.
Good, darling. And a coat hanger. Fabulous.
But not a coat
Please.
hanger. Can you imagine?
Please, bring it, darling, bring in a guest. I can't take much more of this.
We can't.
Now, ladies, I've got two people waiting to come in who are my favourite friends. They're just gorgeous. I mean, I can't tell you everything they do because it's just too much. It's Nik and Eva Speakman, and I love them dearly.
Hi.
Hi. Sherry said that you were her favourite friends. I thought we were.
No.
Oh, what can I say?
I am.
Why did you think we were? Are you kidding me?
Well, it might depend who we're speaking to.
So guys, listen, it's so fun. Thank you so much for coming back to see us. We've missed you.
Pleasure.
We really have. You were one of us. You were, possibly one of the first guests that we had at the beginning and supported us at the very beginning. Since then, we've got 8.5 million views. I think it's not bad, is it?
That's incredible.
Wow.
Wow. Well done, you.
Amazing.
So we're very proud of ourselves, but even prouder that you've come back to see us. So and also happy 25th wedding anniversary.
Yay!
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very much. Yes.
Cheers. Amazing.
Thank you.
You'd have gone to prison for a lot less, wouldn't you? Really?
I know. Yeah. No, I do have the patience.
I would never have had as much fun though.
That's a lovely thing to say. Now, listen, guys, I am so excited because I've been to some of your workshops before, and they have been brilliant and mind-blowing. And you actually got Julie Peasgood not to eat chocolate for 6 months, I think.
Yes.
Wow.
And I believe
pretty
she's
good
still.
going.
Yeah, but I believe that she still isn't. She's not back to where she was, because the problem was with Julie, if I remember rightly, was that she ate too much chocolate. And last time we spoke to her, which wasn't that long
She
ago.
actually said that she felt out of control around chocolate.
Yeah.
And she's the recent update we had off her was that she's now in control around chocolate.
Yeah,
But
yes, which is great.
That's brilliant. So can you tell us where these workshops are and how people can get, because they're live and they're coming soon?
Oh, do you know, and we're so thrilled to get back to doing our workshops,
Oh.
because and now I mean, there's a positive to everything, and I guess the positive about COVID is that we have reduced the numbers greatly. So they are literally just tiny little groups. We're going to be coming all over the UK, so we're going to be in London, Maidstone, Bournemouth, Coventry, Glasgow, Newcastle, Manchester, Nottingham.
Wow.
Have I missed anywhere else? Like, just all over the place.
Yeah.
And what's lovely about the workshops is they are, and as you know, Debbie, because you've been, they're just so fun, so friendly, and it's very much orientated around anxiety disorders, cleaning up all those things from the past that affect us in the here and now. And then we talk about, because the thing that we don't realize is that, life doesn't come with a handbook, and our brain isn't designed to make us happy. It's designed to protect us. So as we know, with physical exercise, that will make us we've got to exercise, we've got to eat healthy for good physical health. The same applies for good mental health. There's things that we have to do. So we teach those at the workshop. So yeah, if anybody wanted to come along, they need to just drop an email to events@speakman.tv.
And I love the amount of people, probably 80% of the room are people that come on their own, but some people we've been doing workshops for 20 years now, have made lifelong friends. And I remember speaking to someone at the last workshop, and it was the 6th one she'd come to, and I said, "Why have you come to so many?" I said, "It's great to have you here, obviously." And she said, "Because every year I take my car for an MOT," and she said, "And this is an MOT for my mind."
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I like
I love
that.
it. And the thing is that the way you talk to people, you are so accessible. I said that when I was there watching it. I mean, having been to quite a few American ones before, and feeling really quite sort of alienated because they don't speak to us in the same way, because the way the Americans work is quite different. To watch you guys, it was like being in a room with your best friends looking after your mental health.
Well, we'd love you to come and join us when we're out of lockdown, when you can come and see us. You more than welcome.
Love to see you all.
Try and stop me.
I'm thinking we're going to separate you, though. I don't know whether we could cope with the 4 of you together in one room at one go.
I was going to say, I wanted to say to you, don't worry, because where Debbie's concerned, we do have protection for you. So we have security in place. Don't worry.
Thank you.
All about making the change, your podcast.
Well, you know what? That is great, because that's something that's come out of lockdown. We've got asked to do a podcast for years, and we never really got the concept of podcasts, if I'm dead honest with you. And we said, okay, let's give it a go. And we've actually just finished our 2nd series. So we've done 20 episodes, and it's about issues like relationship issues, anxiety, creating happiness, catastrophizing, which is what a lot of people do, doubting yourself, panic, and there's a lot of other episodes in there. And what we've tried to do, we've tried to cover those topics, give some personal stuff, and I've got quite my own fan base now for telling a few jokes.
Yes. Yeah,
You're going to move on to stand up. You're going to move on to stand up, darling. But can you tell us also, because of lockdown, conquering anxiety? So many people have it, and what was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's something again that we've been kept quite busy with through lockdown, because people who already suffered with anxiety, a lot of those people have found that their anxiety feels a lot worse. They've got more frequent triggers, and then people who've never suffered with anxiety particularly are now starting to suffer with anxiety because and the primary reason behind that actually is that one of the basic human needs is certainty. And obviously lockdown pushed us into this sort of feeling of uncertainty. So it's almost like your foundations are being moved all the time. So yeah, that's where that's come from. But there's so many things that you can do to help with anxiety through lockdown. And that is things like creating your own certainty. So even if it's the smallest things, just deciding on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday, I'm going to listen to the WonderBirds or whatever it might be. But having a routine,
structure.
having structure, so that's one thing that you can do. But also, I think that lockdown is a great time for self-development to sort of think, okay, maybe this is the time to reflect on who I am, where I've been, what I need to change about myself, where I would like to go. Because we all feel very motivated when we start a new year. We have these New Year's resolutions. And we've been sort of suggesting to people, well, why not use this lockdown as a reinvention of who you want to be and what you can be, and build on that so that you're putting yourself first.
I think that sounds wonderful and so helpful. And also,
Really
I'm going to
fabulous.
bring Bailey's into my security as well, because I think that regular thing is probably very important.
I think, you know, we do our show, you know, 3 times a week, as it were, but one on Saturday, and that's brought incredible structure to us. So since lockdown started, we have had this structure all the way through. So we've been really lucky.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that. I was just thinking that because I suffer a lot from anxiety, and I think my anxiety has been manageable actually because of WonderBirds. And what you said is so true. I hadn't even thought about that.
Do you know what I want to say to you two though, before I go on to what I am going to say is, who helps you?
Yeah,
Each other.
That's a good question, but we help each other.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We do help each other, and we've got 2 incredible children who also help us, because they've been on this journey with us, and they're kind of just an extension of who we are. And one of our big things in life, and this is for anybody, any time that we feel bad, any time that we feel fear, any time that we feel anxious, it's usually based on our perception of something or some event. So our thoughts create our feelings. So our big thing, and how we help people in therapy, is that we help to change people's thoughts. So we improve their thoughts, we give them a better perspective, so that they can have better feelings. Now, so that is a skill that Nik and I have in helping people to see the best or the most positive out of the worst situations, so that you can let them go. And our kids have picked up on that. So another thing that's happened in this lockdown for me is bloody menopause. So and that's been kind of a, oh really, this is what it's like. And it's been a really great learning curve. But the kids have been great in that, because when I've been feeling grumpy or I've been feeling teary, they've been like, oh, but you know what, Mum? And then they'll go straight into things with gratitude, because they kind of know what we do. So we're quite a strong.
Yeah, it's fun actually, because Eva's been talking a lot about menopause, and someone said to me, slightly different, just said, obviously you're so positive all the time. Do you ever wake up grumpy in the morning? And I said, well, some days I let her have a lie-in.
You had to have a joke, didn't you? You had to tell a joke.
That is funny though.
It's part of his stand-up routine, darling. It's the beginning.
It is.
Very
But but humour does help.
I just want to say to you, because both Eva and I have been through the same thing in life, which is domestic violence, and even though mine was in the 70s, it remains in my body, in my mind, in my attitude. In fact, funny enough, I was out walking the dog the other night. It was about 9 o'clock, and I suddenly felt that, you know what I mean, Eva, that sudden thing, that sudden fear. But what I want to talk to you about is what it's like now, because this year, I know from people, has been the worst year ever for domestic violence, because people can't get away. And I know there's help, but I know that it's very dear to you, Eva.
It is, and that is something that I think has been one of the most frightening and concerning things about lockdown, because like you say, there in the normal life there'd be times where you'd get some respite, there'd be times where you could escape, or that person wouldn't be at home, whereas now it's 24/7. Now the good thing that's come from that, however, is that there are more facilities in place than ever. There is a national abuse helpline where people can call. It doesn't show up on your phone bill. You can contact charities such as Refuge, Women's Aid online, and they will literally come and rescue you and your children if you've got children. They've also now implemented with pharmacies where people can go in and give a code word, which is Annie, and you can go in and you can give a code word to the pharmacist, and they will understand and know that you need help. And the thing is, I think the most important message, and this is something I'm sure you felt it like I did, Sherry, is that when you are a victim of domestic violence, you genuinely believe it's just you. You also believe, because you're made to believe, that on some level it's your fault. You antagonized them.
Yeah.
It was all about you. And I think that that people are talking about it more, and I think the message is now starting to get out there for other people to realize. And obviously it's men and women, although more prevalent in that women are they are victims. However, it's both. And what I think the big message that has come out is that it's not acceptable. It's not you. And I think that, you know, we should all speak about it, and that you will get through it as well, by the way. You know, I always feel, I remember thinking when I was with my ex-partner that, you know, because you're made to believe that you're pathetic and useless and you will never survive on your own.
Absolutely.
And then when I got out of it and I met Nik, and Nik said something that was quite profound to me, and it's something that I've shared with a lot of women since. And he said, you were with that person for maybe 2 years, but you'd forgotten that you had all that life and all those years before you ever met them, where you survived perfectly well.
Yes.
On your
That's
own.
true. And when I met my husband, of course, he protected me, because at the time when I was in Coronation Street, I still had this person shadowing me at the back of me. I would turn around and suddenly I would, in fact, funny enough, I still do see his face. His face isn't there, he died, but I can still see that. And I think that shadowing, but my husband helped me out of that, and he protected me from that. And of course, I was safe, but mentally, and this is what, it must be terrible now because of, I mean, I had no mobile phone in those days. You know, I literally had to run away. I literally ran into a taxi, banged on the taxi door and got into a taxi and ran away. God only knows what I was doing. But it stays with you forever. And now people now need more help than ever, don't they? They really need somebody there that can go, come on, and give you that strength back, because you're pathetic. You've died inside. So, and I think that's great that you're doing that with people.
Yeah, I think it is it's a dual thing. It's realizing that it's not, and I know that again this might sound really, really strange for me to say, but domestic violence it's not because of you. You know, it's not, that person didn't become violent because of you. They were already violent.
Absolutely.
So it's never about you. And sadly, the truth is that when you leave, the next person will come into that person's life and they will be treated in the same way. So that again is another big realization. So that, because whilst you hold those repercussions of domestic violence, and they are vast, you know, anxiety, depression, low self-worth, low self-esteem, lack of confidence,
everything,
self-harm, overeating. I mean, the list, like I say, is endless. But whilst you're still holding, if you're not with that person anymore, but yet you're still having the repercussions, then in essence you're almost still their victim. And that's why it's really essential
Eva, I want to ask you a question.
That's true.
Why is it that some women go back, that they leave one relationship that's like that and go into another one that's exactly the same?
They do.
Because
what's really interesting, Debbie, if I may answer that, we hear that so many times, and we can sit in front of someone in therapy, and a lady, and she say, I was in a relationship, domestic abuse, I came out with that, I went into another relationship with domestic abuse, I went into a third one, and now I'm with the most incredible man on the planet. You know, we're financially secure, we've got everything that we want, but I just feel like something's missing. And the most ridiculous thing about that is the thing that's missing is the violence, because they've had relationships and the violence just becomes part and parcel of that, because what's actually been learned, usually at a younger age, is that violence equals love. And therefore, someone can have the most incredible relationship now, but because there's no violence involved, it don't feel like there's enough love. Does that make sense?
But the reason
completely.
But it also comes back to low self-esteem and low self-worth, and that's another reason why you get embroiled in that again, because and I think that people who have been victims, I always think they are the most wonderful, and obviously maybe perhaps it sounds like I'm biased, but I genuinely think because they're the most tolerant, the kindest, sweetest souls, because every time you get hurt, you genuinely believe that this person can get better, and you don't want to give up on them. And it is sort of, and a lot of it is because having seen violence at home. I'm not sure if that was your situation, Sherry, but I grew up in a home where my learning was that you do see aggression and then you see, I'm sorry, I love you. So it kind of normalizes that to some degree as well.
Yeah.
So when I got into that kind of a relationship, it was almost like I was familiar with it. I didn't want it in my life, and I didn't. And it's funny, really, because you can. I would look at other people and feel sadness for them, but I felt that I must deserve it, and that is the thing about being a victim of gaslighting, of bullying, of domestic abuse, is that you are pushed so far down that you are grateful for their love and attention.
Yeah, grateful for anything, and you will do anything to get their love, won't you? Literally, anything.
But there's a two-pronged way to deal with it. The first is to elevate, build your self-esteem, your self-worth, and then also the second part of it is to work on the actual abuse itself, to help you to realize that it wasn't about you, it wasn't because of you, didn't deserve that, and so that you can and almost understanding that you know it wasn't that, because then you can go right, it's not me, and you can let it go.
And isn't it fabulous? You spoke about your children, and isn't it great that you've got all this insight and knowledge, and you can pass that to your kids, so that whatever happens now, they're never going to repeat that. And you're really inspirational to me, actually. I saw you on a program where you said that first thing in the morning, you do the gratitude. You know, you're grateful for everything that you have. So, when you actually wake up, you have like 5 minutes of gratitude, and that really came home to me, and I do that now, and that's helped me a lot, a hell of a lot.
That's so good to hear. And I mean, gratitude, I say, is the antidote to anxiety. And you know, because we evolve in our life, and you know, and there's so many things. And you know, I say at our workshops, when you go home, right, and you approach your house, just pause for a moment and look at that house, right, and don't just walk in it, because there's a point in your life when you were like, I wish I could have that house, and you work towards it and you bought it, but now you're taking it for granted. Just be outside and think, I remember that day when I so wanted this. And then when you walk in the house and you walk into your lounge, just look around your lounge and look at the memories, and look at that, you know, that flat screen TV that you saved up for and said, one day I'll have that, and it's there, and now you just sit in front of it and just take it for granted. And look at the photographs that you've got, the memories that, you know, maybe the holidays that you've been on, that you've got in your lounge, and just take a moment to just get grounded in your own life and just realize how amazing you are. Because when we realize how amazing we are, and we're all amazing, then we can look at life with, you know, we can take these blinkers off, and we can look at life and realize how amazing it is. And even being in lockdown and everything that's thrown at us, you know, we're all amazing, and you know, our life is fabulous.
It is. It is. And also,
it's helping me so much today with you guys. It's really brilliant.
It really is. It's really helping, darling. I was also really excited to know that you have lots of animals, cats, and even lizards.
Well, I've got to tell you, we have got lots of animals, and we're just big animal lovers. Love but I've got to tell you, we've got lizards, and our lizards at this time of year, they normally breed, you know. So we've got lots of friends that have got baby lizards, you know, that we've passed on.
Grand lizards. Grand lizards,
but our lizards this year have not bred, and you know, I was wondering what is wrong with them, to the point that I took them to the vet. And said, look, can you help us out, because I don't understand what's going wrong. And actually he rang me up. He said, Nick, he said, I've got some bad news for you, actually. I said, oh, what's the problem? He said, well, I've checked them out. He said, they're very healthy, they're okay. He said, but the male lizard, he said, you're not going to get any more babies. And I said, how come? And he said, because your male lizard, he said, he's got erectile dysfunction.
Surely there's medication for that, darling. Surely there's lizard medication for erectile dysfunction. I can't believe there is.
We've fallen for his jokes. That's the second joke that we've fallen for. I can't believe it.
I'm so sorry, I can't help it.
I do
it's
apologize.
A good joke,
though. What about
it's a shocker,
darling?
It's a shocker.
Cats.
Oh, cats, yes, we've got 6 cats. We've got 3 Maine Coons, we've got 2 Bengals, and we've got a serval.
Yes.
Oh my God.
One of my
Wow.
Maine Coons
Fabulous.
is actually asleep under my feet. Would you like? Should I? Would you like
Yes,
to see him
please.
briefly?
Please.
Let me just. I'm just gonna lean forward for him.
Okay.
Monkey. This
Very
is.
excited.
Come on.
This is our monkey, and 18 months ago, we nearly lost him because he got hit by a
He
car.
looks grumpy.
He got hit by a car, and it was really touch and go for about 2 months, and he ended up losing one of his legs.
So he's only got one front paw, as you can see
Poor
there.
baby.
But he's perfectly happy. He's really happy, and he.
Darlings, can I ask you about the
Yes.
shedding? Because I've had 4 cats at one time, and
Yes.
a long-haired German Shepherd and another dog, and I
Wow.
was just a mountain of hair. How do you cope? Because those cats have long hair, darling.
Okay, so I've got to be honest, and I've never disclosed this, I don't think, publicly.
Do I know?
Yeah,
Yeah, go on.
but I do have a little bit of a thing about hoovering. I am a hooveraholic. I love hoovering. It is just divine. I love getting stripes in my carpet. I love it when you kind of put the sucker down your arm and you see, oh, it's just the best thing ever. So
Darling, do you do away days? Do you come and visit people with your Hoover? Because you're so welcome here.
I don't, but I'd consider it. I get very excited about hoovering.
Well, I'll just disclose something. As well. For Christmas, I bought Eva a vacuum cleaner.
He did.
Right, and it's like I think most people take offence at that, but she was like, "This is the best present I've ever had."
Present ever.
Honestly, I was teary because it was a shark, and I'd had a Henry before that, which oh, here he is. My Henry Hoover was getting a little bit. It just wasn't as versatile, but my shark,
Yeah.
I love it. So
Oh yeah,
That's
I've got
true.
a shark, and I've got a
And
little
darling,
shark
going
as
back
well.
to your animals, do you think that's like therapy? Does it help anxiety? Do you think having animals?
without a doubt,
Absolutely, it does.
Without a doubt.
Absolutely, because
Sorry.
animals, they love you unconditionally.
Yes.
And
Yeah, and they know better than anyone because they've got no filters, they've got nothing that they're after other than obviously they want some food, but their love is true. And again, for anybody
they
that
don't care whether you've
struggles-
got your makeup on or not.
Yeah,
They
so-
don't care if your hair's done or not. They don't care what you're
absolutely.
wearing.
And I always say,
Mine do.
listen, if you've been loved, yeah, if anyone or anything has ever loved you, then that's absolute proof that you're
Yeah.
lovable.
I'm
They
talking
do
about
poo
love.
it. They do poo a lot, though, don't they? Let's be honest.
They
Yeah.
do what? Sorry, poo.
They poo a lot,
Poo.
and you've got a lot of poo with your all your
Well, yeah,
animals.
but to
And
be
the
fair,
lizards.
the cats go outside. They
They've
have a
got a cat
cat flap,
flap.
so they go out, and if they need
Oh,
to
that's
poop,
all right then.
they go outside. And then our lizards and things, there's a filter on where they are, so that's fine. We've got a spider as well. Now that is interesting because we have a tarantula, and Have you ever seen a tarantula
What?
poo?
No, I haven't.
I wonder if they do. They must poo, mustn't they?
What's your
I'm gonna go
tarantula
and I'll have a
called?
look.
What's
Uh,
the
Called
name?
Melanie.
Yeah, we've got a Melanie and we've got a
course.
pipsqueak.
Yeah.
A lovely name. Oh, and
I
also,
think it's
darling,
time you both
I
went
had
to
a
see
spider
somebody.
called Brian.
You got, sorry?
I had a spider called Brian.
Oh, nice.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Naturally.
but the thing is, I had a Weimaraner called Caius, who was my baby before I had my Keeley. And when Caius died, he went into Brian's body. So Brian became a dog. Anyway, I'll just leave that with you.
Okay,
We need all the information about your when your wonderful workshops are, so we can put that
Yes.
on our website. We
Please.
need all the information about everything about you because you're
Oh,
just the
bless you.
most brilliant people in
And
the
we
universe.
will be
really
there.
are.
And
We
And
will
Thank you
send you
so
all the
much.
details.
Finally, darling, can I just say that you two have been together for 25 years and you're always together. You're very
Yes.
rarely apart. So what is the key to, what's your secret?
What's
Do you
the
have
secret?
like anything special that you like doing together?
What
could
were you?
Oh,
share
I
with
got-
us?
Dee, you can't ask that question, darling. It's far too intimate.
Well, I'm not going to go into detail. I'm sorry. But
Okay.
actually, Dee, we've been married 25 years. We've been together 30.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
we, I think the best part of any relationship and the key to a relationship is communication.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's because so many people have in relationships have things that the partner might irritate them, and they never say anything, and it builds up and builds up, and it gets to a point where it becomes, you know, a major problem. But we've always discussed and communicated everything right from day one.
And laughter as well. We laugh a lot. And the other thing is that we have a lot of the same friends. I think when relationships where each partner has different friends and then starts to socialize separately, whereas we have friends together and friends that are couples and friends that are single, but they're both our friends. And I think socializing together, lots of laughter. We plan our life as well. So on the 1st of January, our children, we sit down, we write goals for the year, our individual goals, and then we have goals as a family as well. So that's important to us and important to our children too. So we have plans where we're going to go, little things we'd like to do. Our next plan, which we're starting I think next week, is we're doing a come dine with me family whilst we're in lockdown. So each family member is going to do a starter, main course and dessert over every Friday for 4 weeks.
Lovely.
We have theme nights. So yeah, I think it's become sort of second nature to us now, but we do, again, going back to certainty, which we talked about, and anxiety and lockdown, we even in lockdown have still given ourselves certainty with things to look forward to and do.
Thank you so much. You are amazing, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So lovely to see you
We've
all.
loved it. You guys are just amazing. You're a tonic and you're all just beautiful inside and out. Thank you for having us.
What you have said is when I wanted to ask when your stand-up dates are, though, because it's all very well everything else. It's your stand-up.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I've actually started to do is work a section within the workshops.
Yeah.
Because I'm just getting the feel from the audience first, see if, you know, before I make the big step for the stand-up.
Right. Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
I've got some good gags. I've got some good gags. I'll give them to you.
Oh, thank you. They'll be greatly received.
They're rude, but they're all right.
I thought they might be.
Bye, darling.
Bye. Bye.
Oh, how refreshing, rebooting, revivifying, everything.
Everything that you need in life.
I think, I'm saying about the structure, and that's what we have with WonderBirds, and our fans have that with our WonderBirds show. They know they can watch this 3 or 4 times a week. So we kind of did that by accident. Our instinct kicked in.
Exactly.
And we've done something to help our mental health. Not that you'd believe it, but there you go.
Dear, we haven't got any mental health. But actually, Sherry, you can have them in your ear because you can listen to their podcast.
Well, you can. Yes. This is true. Yeah.
Anyway, tomorrow we shall be back with the gorgeous Richard Arnold.
Ricardo.
I cannot wait. So we shall see you tomorrow morning.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow morning. Bye.
Bye.